I'll take some of that. Hey, I'm fixing to do a supplement, beef liver, heart, all the man organ stuff. That's what you can fill up that. We can take that right now. They honest. Oh, how are you? We look good enough nutrition and stuff too. And our lifestyle is so stressful, it takes more of it. So.
I think so.
Whatever.
Hello, sir. Are you well? Well, you look good.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, you can pass it on to here. I don't know. Is it gonna use the?
Yes.
Good morning, gentlemen. Apologies for being late.
You're a minute early, sir.
Am I? You just really think for me.
There you go, buddy. Thank you, sir. Let's take one for Brandon.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Sure, you got it. There you go, Commissioner.
You sleeping, was you? No, I wasn't sleeping. I was watching the rain, drinking Dr. Pepper. Our power's out. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
No, at the barn, my house is good. The barn's out. I got a tree across 3415. We don't have any trees down yet. Knock on wood. We ain't got no way to keep them up anyway. I don't either.
Where is this? Be on the wrong screen.
Increase in.
Yeah.
They don't get. They'll think it's lower.
I'm getting there, gentlemen. There we go.
If that.
Okay. We're gonna go through this, spend all weekend. We got, the, tax rates on Friday. And, what I want to show you, top line up there is the assessed valuation. tax, is $5.5 billion, $1 trillion, I can't,
Billion.
okay. The voter approved rate. Oh, actually, this is the no new revenue rate right here. That's the rate at which we would raise the same amount of money as we did in fiscal year 25.
The 29.
No, that's I'm trying to get to.
Oh, 28, yeah.
No new revenue. First
Yeah.
column's no new revenue. That's the 28 cents. That would be a drop. This was fiscal year 25 right here. And while our tax values decreased, it actually shows a higher amount right here. So I'll go through that. So our tax rate was 0.30587 last year, and under the no new revenue it would be 0.283747. That would bring in 15 million plus. And then this is the frozen taxes. Again, this is for people like myself who are 65. And when they turn 65, they don't pay any more taxes than what they were incurring at 65. So that's called tax ceiling. And so they're not included in the tax assessed value of property up there, but it's a separate dollar amount that gets used each year and is adjusted each year. So that makes the estimated tax levy that we would receive under the no new revenue about 18,841,000. Last year it was 18,159,000. So it's 681,000 more. That is basically your new property. That is what that would be. Our new property actually is closer to 800,000, but because the property values went down, decreased some of that got eaten up. Some of the new property value got eaten up in that right there. So we allocate 3% for delinquent that did not get paid. So that would make the total 18,371,030. Okay, so that's no new revenue. If you go over to the where's my second column right here, this is called the voter approved rate. This is the rate at which we can go to and not have to go to an election. This is the highest amount, and this theoretically incorporates an up to a 3.5% increase in the amount of taxes that we had or collected in the prior year. So that rate is 0.299622. That rate $16 million. Then we bring the frozen tax rate over here. So we get a total of $19,770,000. That would be a $1.577 million increase over the prior year. And again, that includes 800,000, close to 800,000 in new property revenue. You go in and you take out the 3% delinquency, so the total of 19,220,000. Any questions on this page? Okay, so you got fiscal 25. No, this is the voter approved rate. And this is the no new revenue rate. So if we go to the next page, okay. What I'm showing you here is what increases what we did on increases for salary. And it's on the bottom of the page right there. So the full-time, the 3% increase in the new positions and the part-time increase resulted in $1,270,179.06. That was the total increase to our budget as a result of the 3% increase in the new positions. And I will go and detail that. There was most of it, or this was the 3% increase, as I told you, came in at 491,229 was the total for the new, and then the increased positions, payroll changes This was slightly more, this was the full-time, new full-time positions that we approved. And there's one that was marked out, but I didn't take it out of totals, but it's roughly about 450,000 is what that was. And so you go back and look, oh, no, we're going to road and bridge, let me go back. So and one of the things that we may go back to and say, and look at and say, do we really need all these positions? So that's why it's here, but let me move on to road and bridge. Okay,
Actually, one question.
you may.
It was my understanding when we were talking with the fire marshal that some of the fire marshal positions were gonna come out of the revenue that he garners rather than, is that, did I misunderstand that? Or his?
No,
positions?
I don't believe that money, even though it's coming out of it, it still has to go into the budget. That's just how it gets funded. It's not necessarily reducing, which I will go into that in a little bit too, discuss. Okay, I guess we'll wait for Brandon to come back.
Kind of what I was thinking about was if that money comes out of there, that money comes directly out of the fire marshal's budget. Would it impact our overall budget,
But I know what you're saying, but we still have to budget it to spend it.
Of course.
The funding part of it is something different, but I was actually gonna propose that the vehicles that he's requested, which is $70,000, that come out of his.
Yeah.
That should do
Out
that.
of that sequestered money.
Right. So, all right, now we're looking at the road tax right here. This is the 10 cents. If in 2025, that was the total amount of property value at 10 cents, and it raised or the total amount was 5.3 million. This was raised in 25. Okay, under the current one, this is the value 5.2 trillion or billion. Is that?
Trillion.
It's trillion, 5.2 trillion. And at 0.09
It's
this
it's billion, Judge.
it's billion.
I
Okay.
wish we were the trillions.
Okay.
You're wishful
1,000
thinking.
million. You're right. You're right. Someday, right?
Someday.
Okay. So where's my mouse? There it is. So again, this is no new revenue. This is the rate at which we would raise the same amount of money as we collected in fiscal year 25. Okay. And so that tax rate came in at 9 cents, 9.27 and that's the tax levy, add in the frozen taxes, and the total amount that we would collect is 5.4 million, which is roughly 94,000 more than the prior year. Okay, so as soon as trying to get my mouse back, there it is. And and then you got the delinquency amount, so it's roughly 5.2 million that would be collecting road tax. You go to the voter approval tax. This is the one that will add in a 3%. It is too simple. It's not. You can't just simply add in 3.5%. There's a whole bunch of other things that are taken into account that are added in the tax worksheets. So, but at this point, I'm just going to say it includes the 3.5% increase over the no new revenue. And so this would be the total tax levy. Frozen tax would add back in 5.6. So the increase from the prior year would result in about $355,000 more money into the road and bridge tax right there. Now I've got this part right here. Keep losing my mouse. Don't know where it is. There it is. The road tax is set at 10 cents for everybody. And so in order to make that 10 cents, we have to then transfer money out of the general fund to the tax to make it total 10 cents. So these are the amounts down here. These are the amounts that would have to be transferred from the general fund over into road and bridge tax accounts in order to make that a whole 10%, since it went down below that. Last year, I think it was the opposite way. These were over 10 cents, and we had to take money out of it. Okay, so this is the totals, and these are on, maybe easier since it's way down on the bottom. This shows what the allocation is based on the percentages, same percentages used as last year. One part is based off of road miles. The other one is based on the percentages that the commissioners agreed to. So that the total on the each commissioner or each precinct rather is on the bottom in yellow, and it shows you that the net increase would be 177,000 for precinct 1, or 178,000 precinct 1, 198 for precinct 2, 256 for precinct 3, and 181 for precinct 4. So the net increase to the road and bridge budget, 4 budgets, would be around $817,000. Okay. So, and what I did now is I took the, here it is up here on the top, that very bottom part that was on the screen before is now on the top part of the screen, and then the bottom part of the screen is showing you what currently has been budgeted for each precinct. Okay. And I can't get my, I don't have a way to do it. Oh, and then the back, the summary, the items highlighted in yellow and bottom one show the net increase over the prior year for the budget. Okay. And you'll find that 2 of y'all did not budget anything in contingency. And the reason why precinct 2 is down shows to be a decrease of 659,444 is because the last year's budget had $570,000 budgeted for contingency. And then there was another, there was equipment that didn't get budgeted, as much equipment didn't get budgeted this year. So that was part of the decrease that was there.
Well, the auditor's office asked me about that, and I said, I don't know how much is in that fund, but put every dollar that is it's in my fund balance into contingency. So if it didn't get transferred over there, then we'll transfer it over there.
I didn't even vote my fund balance.
I got the fund balances right here. Precinct 1, you're $379,000. Precinct 2, you're $764,000. Precinct 3, $304,500, and precinct 4, $579.
And that's as of when?
That's as of, I got this from Ben on Friday.
Yeah.
So I think I did kind of what you did, Judge, is I looked at all of it and looked at what each of us budgeted compared to how much we are bringing on revenue. And then I even added the fund balances. And we were all over except for precinct 2. And we were way over.
I'm way over.
Precinct 1, you're over 600,000. 2 is not over. He's not over because he has so much contingency. You take what the revenue is and then our reserve fund, put those numbers together, you're still over 600,000. Cliff is under 400,000. Bobby is over 800,000, and I was over 400,000. That's even with the reserve funds and the revenue coming in. We're way over.
Okay, well, I don't have those numbers in here, so I don't,
Yeah,
I'm not sure.
I
So
got,
we can't move forward until we use that, update the contingency, I guess any other items that need to be updated in the road and bridge. Now, I will, let you know, I did go in and reduce the fuel on everybody to account for the fuel tax, that, refund that we will get for the, exemption that we got. So I did reduce that.
This is take the revenue to 25. It's not gonna be much more.
Okay, so, there's obviously no point in continuing on till we get those fund balances included in the contingency for the next one. So, and I guess the other one is we need to look at some of the changes that have been made. Some of the major changes in the other accounts that we've got. But before we do that, I need to explain that it is incredibly challenging to do this budget because you have so many different methods in which we account for the expenses. And you have those items where we already have the money in the bank and we're now going to spend it. So you have no revenue to offset it, but you're going to send it off. So you're going to take it out of the current budgeted or current general fund, bank account is what it is. Example being ARPA, okay? The ARPA funds, we have roughly $3 million worth, and it's already in the bank. But if I go ahead and budget spending the 300 million or 300,000, 3 million, I'm sorry, I show it as an expense with no revenue to offset it. So you got to take into account that. Another one is like the court records. We collect money for doing filing of court records and digitizing. We have $1 million in the bank from all the collections we have from court that and so if I go ahead and budget $1 million to do that, then I have $1 million expense with no incoming revenue to offset it.
Because it's already there.
Because it's already there. Then I have the situation exact opposite where I'm going to have an expense, but it's going to get reimbursed, but I have to go ahead and budget the expense even though I don't have the money yet. An example for that is a soil and water conservation. We have multiple dams that are in process of being repaired, and two of them, it's $500,000. These cost the county nothing. Or I say they cost them nothing other than administration. We're mostly the focal point for funding, for not funding, but administering the account. And so there's an administrator of the project and they get everything done. And then they tell us these need to be paid. These invoices need to be paid. We pay it. And then after we've paid it, we go and request reimbursement from the comptroller and we get it. But I have to budget the funds, even though some I don't know exactly what it's going to be, but I have no money to pay it. And I will get no revenue until after they've already been spent. And in cases, it may not be in the same fiscal year. An example is they have a new project that they're working on, Cedar Creek Dam, that's going to be $3 million. That it is going to be, and that'll be multiple years, I'm sure, but they're in the process of doing that. So, and I am just learning this whole process and I'm trying to figure out the best way to present that and to pull it all out, pull out the numbers, because some of the numbers, are accounted for different ways in different funds. And it's kind of like you talked about in the fire marshal. Well, yes, there's a fund there and we can spend it, but you still have to, even though the fund is there, you still have to count for the expense. Okay. It's where the money's going to come out of and how we do that. And to be quite honest with you on the numbers and when I say honest, when I came up with this right here, this is my first time to do it. And I haven't had it reviewed, and I've asked Sandy Hill to help me in reviewing this to make sure it got done correctly and that these numbers are accurate in that regard. And actually, I'll probably get Emily to help me do that too. But it is an incredibly complex process to come up with these numbers, and so. But the bottom line is, in regard, if we decide to go with the no new revenue, we will have a total of $681,000 increase. And that means, and I already showed you, we have over $1 million in new, the employee increase of 3% and the new people that we have hired or intend to hire, the new positions that we approved. If we do the voter approved rate, we would get it would be additional $1.5 million, which would help cover most of the new employee pay raise and the new positions. And then I haven't gone through and figured it out. This is what I was going through right here to try to go through some of the details right here of some of the major increases in the different accounts. But it's my estimation that it's at least $500,000 to 700,000 increases in just regular items and expenses that we're going to have to come up with. So if we go down, and I'm going to go down, we start with the county clerk. Just the ones highlighted, the ones that I really wanted to address. And county clerk's going down because we're creating the elections department with election administrator. County clerk is two of the positions the elections were formerly under her. Two of those positions will go over to elections. The big increase there is not because of employees, but rather of election workers that are going to be needed for the general election next year or this year and next year. Okay, the primaries, there'll be election in November. That will be some of that will fall into, most of it will fall into this year or the next fiscal year. That will be for the constitutional amendments. Then there'll be the primary election in March and any runoffs in May. Okay, and we are almost 100% responsible for the early voting. That is the early voting costs. The day of election, the parties will pay for that, the primaries, for the expenses of that. But that's about $180,000 for the election worker costs for those 3 elections right there. The total non-department, and again, that $4 million of that is related to the purchase of the Paul Michael building, I believe, or it's contingency. It's one of the two. I can't remember which is what the increase is. And again, that we know is going to be there and is designed. Contracts are going up 618,000, and I've already forgot what that was. That was in there. I know some of that may be. Okay, hold on. Let me pull it up. I want to be accurate in my. Okay. Oh, okay. Contracts. We'll go back up to contracts. And I have been informed that I can take 400,000 out of that, which I had for economic development. Again, that's one of those, we have over $500,000 in the bank for economic development. And my question to Sandy was, we just met with Sandy and we're talking about this, and she says, I don't have to put that in that budget, I can put it in a different one. But, so I was putting that 400, and not that we're gonna spend 400,000, I don't anticipate it being more than 100,000, but I'm under the impression that you got to have it in the budget if you're gonna spend it, and it could be more things since we have the money, so that's gonna come down. But the big item that I put in here, and I talked about it when we talked about it earlier, but we haven't talked about it since, is the fire department fee. This is the monthly amount that we pay the volunteer fire departments in Van Zandt County. The current previous budget, $89,000. That's roughly $600 a month for the volunteer fire departments. The last change that was made that brought it to $600 was in 2012. There has been no increase since that time, which is 13 years. And I basically doubled it. I put it in there, taking the fee that we pay to the volunteer fire departments to $1,200 from $600. And now's the time for us to say, okay, do we want to leave this in here? Do we want to take it out, or do we want to modify it?
Modify. I would think you'd probably have to modify.
Okay.
I don't know that. My first instinct is when Brandon tells me I'm $400,000 over, that like we're going to cut somewhere, right?
Right.
All of us are.
Yes. Yes, we can't.
I think it's sad that it's been since 2012 that we've increased that. Don't you?
I do.
It's just, it's like a lot of times, like I hear things like, we got in this shape because 25 years ago we didn't do this and this and this, but we can't make everything up in 1 year.
That's
It's
right.
like, it's not possible to do that, but we can work every year to make it a little bit better, and I'm committed to that, but I don't think we can dig out in 1 year on things.
Before we make any decisions, do we need to decide on what rate we were gonna go with? And go back to last year, we did not do the no new revenue rate. And it cost us quite a bit, and now it's even lower than what it would have been. If we keep on doing that, we're gonna get back in the same position that we were in 15 years ago. So I think first we need to see what rate we want to go with. And then that kind of gives us an idea of how much. If you take the no new revenue rate compared to the voter approval rate, that's $1 million.
So the no new revenue rate puts us at 28 cents per 100 valuation, and the voter approved rate is 29 cents, which our current rate is 30 cents. Correct?
Correct.
So we're going down on the rate no matter what, even though the money goes up. The tax rate is going down. Even though because of the revenue rate. And it's a tricky wording.
Right.
Can you imagine? I mean, it's hard for the public. I mean, it's hard for me to even get my mind wrapped around that. But it's like
Tax. Overall, your money is more. So you can look at it, oh, they raised taxes because you got more money, but technically what you're paying as an individual for what you owe went down. It's hard to explain it to the public because we made more money. I think we raised taxes, but we did not raise them. The tax rate got lowered.
So do we start with what the tax rate's gonna be, or do we start trimming a fat? And then
I think we should, my opinion,
We gotta
let's figure out how much revenue we're gonna have and then work from there. Because that can give us a number, okay, this is what we're bringing in. And this is what our expenses are, and we're X amount of dollars over, okay, then we need to cut about this much and start trimming.
so it'll give us the least amount that we have to trim if we know what
Yep.
if we raise it. And if we don't raise it, then we'll have the most amount that we have to trim. It just depends on how you want to start at it, right?
And I'll tell you my opinion, I mean, we all know, just on the road and brick side, materials have gone up. They keep continuing to go up. I'll go with voter approved rate. I mean, we have to be able to afford the services and materials to provide for the community.
Yeah, if I don't have the money, I'm gonna keep getting.
Yeah, you look at county tax rate 29 cents, school tax rate 98 cents.
I think we have to go with the voter approved.
I'm in agreement of that because of we have done nothing to upgrade the services that we are providing, even though our population is growing. And I really think that what we're doing with the fire marshal is ideal, and it needs to be done, and it will in essence pay for itself in a matter of time, just in increased septic system fees, in the nuisance abatement that will result in that regard, in any kind of fines and fees that possibly could be imposed. But I think that we have to have the 2 new dispatchers, because we are going to have major issues, or not major issues, but a heavy learning curve and a heavy transition period with the new radio system when it goes online. And we need to have the new dispatchers in place to help alleviate that as we get it worked out. So those are 4 of the positions that we're talking about. And I fully agree on a civil lawyer because of the best situations and the other entities that are coming in that could be potentially harmful to the environment of the county. And it gives a civil lawyer, gives us the opportunity to help counter that, and if need be, to file lawsuits in that regard.
And just that attorney, in my opinion, will save money in the long run. I wouldn't say save money, but not cost as much in the long run. Because we have to have one. And you don't have one, and all these cases come, we're gonna hire one from outside. It's gonna cost more than we're paying one.
That's true.
You gotta. This is not a good subject, but you gotta look at it in the long run. You know, you say, well, we're doing this for the people, we're raising the taxes, but we're really not doing the service to the people if we don't have the money to provide the services.
Well, I can tell you, and I know that school taxes are where people get hurt more than county taxes. Y'all agree with that?
When you say get hurt more.
Well, I'm saying that, like, I talked to a lady this week that is moving out of Zandt County, going to Smith County and Lindale because she can't afford taxes here. Her taxes in Lindale are cheaper than they are here, is what she's saying.
But county
I don't know.
tax is not.
Yeah, I don't know. I just don't know I don't know, but we're the ones that get,
Yeah,
we're the ones that are gonna get on the whipping post for it, but,
And
you know,
we rarely even account for 25% of their tax
I
bill.
understand that, but it's like, you know, when we talk about doing the things that we're doing, increasing government and buying buildings, there's a whole lot of things that we have to, for me, to get my mind wrapped around it, how we're gonna pay for all that.
I looked at, this has been about a year ago, probably, when we went through this last year. I looked at surrounding counties and even just counties around us. And we are one of the cheapest tax rates around it. Now, Dallas, I remember Dallas County being cheaper, but look what Dallas has. I mean, they got so much infrastructure. But as far as rural counties,
And she may be talking about the appraisals.
and that I don't know, but we are one.
You know, I'm not sure that's not the appraisals, that's where people are hurting, like sometimes.
So
You got 3 opinions and waiting on 2 more.
Y'all already voted.
Well, there's not any vote, but But I think that, I think that we should make our projections, in the budget based on the voter approved rate. You know, because and see where all of our numbers come down based on the voter approved rate. It's not necessary for, you know, for a vote. Or
No, not
for
here.
anybody to express their opinions. Because, you know, at this point, we need to look to see what we have and determine. Judge, did you have an opportunity to reduce those line items where they had not had any expenditure over the last couple of years?
Yes, I did. I went in and,
Well, I appreciate that. It's a heavy load right there.
if you printed it out in color, the line items that I reduced, or increased in some cases, anything that I made a change to from the original, I put in red.
Okay.
And, you know, like I reduced postage on one because it didn't justify, and again, I reduced training, postage and fuel on many of the, different accounts, based on either prior usage or the fact that on fuel, we will have a tax credit, 20 cents a gallon credit, in that regard. So, yes, I did. I know it was well over $100,000 that I pulled out by doing that.
So we're saying that we want to base this budget that we're fixing to work on, base it on 19.7 million.
So.
Correct?
Okay, well, that, again, that is for the general fund. You take 75% of that, and that's what goes to the,
Yeah, but that's the base number that we're gonna work with.
Right.
And then we gotta. Everything else,
That thing too.
19.7.
So, and like the
and that
judges,
does, that number does not include the road tax.
Right.
The road tax is another 5 million.
Correct.
so what I was picking up, what I was understanding from what the judge was mentioning before is that the budget in itself will have items in there that perhaps monies and revenues already sitting in bank accounts. And we're going to show an expenditure this year. So our expenditures this year may be higher than the voter approved rate because those funds are already sitting in an
Right.
account.
Right.
So when those bills are paid, it's paid from last year's revenue or existing revenue. And so I think
The bottom line, and again, the way it's done is what is your fund balance going to be at the end of the year? And I'm nowhere close to being able to determine that right now because as I learn all these different things, and that's why I had Sandy in today is to help me explain and then help to show Ben and I how she did it so that we can put it all together. Again, the reason why we can't just use what she did last year is because we changed accounting software. And the accounting software, you know, the new accounting software treats things differently than the old accounting software. So we have to figure that out. But yes, you're correct.
And we think we have 12 to 14 million in the general fund
Yeah,
balance.
the auditor who presented the audited report showed that the fund balance was right at $12 million at the end of last year. So what the question is how much will we go into that fund balance in this current fiscal year?
Yes.
Which you know, we may or may not. Again, that's one of those things. I go into the budget and I see line items that are budgeted that I know we're not going to spend, but then I find that, you know, I got to figure out what was that, a transfer? How did that work? You know, in that regard. So I don't really know exactly how to determine what our fund balance is going to be at the end of this year.
You can't,
Right.
but we got a base. We got around 19.7 million coming in, and we got around 12 million in the fund balance.
Correct.
So we can make a budget knowing what we've got.
Right.
So that's what we need to know right
So
there.
on the
Start.
6 million that we're supposed to keep available, is that on a line item?
No,
Is that a contingency?
no. it's not, in any, it's in the fund, it's in the cash report showing what's in the bank account, but
Is
it's not.
that
in the
part of the
budget.
12 to 14 million?
That is part of the 12.
Okay, so, and is the 12 to 14 million, is 4.2 of that gonna be going to the Paul Michael bill? So basically what we have is maybe 8 to 10.
Well, don't even take the 6. Turn out the 6 does not exist.
Okay,
That's what I do.
So then
so-
we've got 8. And
So, yeah, so we could say that we got 19.7 million coming in and we got 6 million in the fund balance because the other 6 million is in a vault. It's over there.
$4. And you feel comfortable about spending that much of your fund balance? Getting it, what will it be down to after we spend the 4.2? So we'll have what?
8,
If you take the 6 out,
say 8 million.
no.
Yeah,
No,
it'd
because you're
be
not
around
counting, 'cause you're not
2
counting.
to 3 million.
Okay,
Oh, yeah, if you
Right.
pull the 6.
But then you go down the road and think about it, okay, we've already sold that. We can put that money back in there and we sell the DA. I mean, we can replenish it without tax dollars. But
so we're gonna start with the highest voter approved tax rate.
start with $19.7 million revenue and a $6 million fund balance. Correct, Judge?
Yes, but again, we don't know what the fund balance is going to be. The fund balance is 12 million as of October 1st.
Yeah, you're not gonna know a number, an exact number, but I think that's pretty, it's gonna be plus, it ain't gonna be
Well,
very
remember,
from different.
I thought it was more.
because
than
we
10.
didn't, because we went with a no new basically the no new revenue rate last year. We budgeted to go 3 million into the fund balance.
So,
Now the question is, will we actually go into that much into the fund balance? And I don't
think we will.
I don't think we will either, because of the amount that was in the budget that's not going to be spent. This year is part of it.
Well, that's an unknown that we can't figure it out, but we can start making a budget off these
Right.
figures.
Well, once Ben and I sit down and work and try to figure out, how the transfers work and, what we should be putting in against the expenses part, then it'd be more realistic on what we can do. But, I still think we need to go in and I want to go back and, one of the things, let me go back to the, let me go back to explaining these different departments and why the increases that we have in here. Oh, so we never, okay. So I explained to you why the elections in county clerk, why that's gone up, basically 200,000, close to 200,000 of it's related to the 3 elections that we're gonna have to do. The non-department, we need to go back to that, and that we never made a decision on the what we want to do with the fire departments. I propose taking them from 600 to 1,200. I will admit that it's too big a jump for us to take at this time. And I would propose we take it to 900. We add 300 a month to each one. And that would be basically half of the increase that was proposed. So what is y'all's?
That sounds better to me, but I don't know. I don't know what the,
I'm fine with that.
Okay. I can find it.
Kevin?
I'm looking.
It's little right here.
trying to get to the jail. Uh-oh.
Well, it doesn't help me when I sort it alphabetically, so I have to manually go through here and find it real quick.
Why don't we just go through that budget the way you've got it on paper? mean, we gotta go through it all
all
anyway.
right, I'll have to pull it up. Give me a minute. Let me see what else I had. This was just kind of a summary of all the, basically, this was a summary of all the detail pages.
Can I ask one question on that real quick though?
Yes,
What was Constable for? Where do we go up so much on that?
they're getting a new vehicle. Budgeted $87,000 for a new vehicle. Each year we do a constable vehicle.
And what about the two part-time
That
constable deputies, I guess?
that was
The
another
sheriff just
thing
need-
that I think we ought to revisit, and it's going to be roughly
We got the sheriff here, he may have some input on that.
well, the part-time constables are designed to assist the JPs. When
Yeah, it's
the
still law
constable's
enforcement,
not there. So,
So you're giving them part-time to all the.
the request was to hire 2 part-time constables.
1 and 4 would share 1 and 2, or 1 and 4 would share 1 and 2 and 3 would share 1.
Yeah, well, when I talked to one, I don't know that he's on board with that. I mean, I'm not sure that was like, he said he had to think about it, so I don't even know if he would have been approached by that or not. I don't know. He might have been, but. Communication.
Was he here during
No, Tommy
He was
wasn't
in
here.
court, but they
he was in
had
court.
thing,
the
they
day?
had court.
Maybe we can ask him to, this with us. On one of our workshops and. So because I don't. I think, I think 4 was here.
Yeah, all of them were here except for 1. Tommy's the only one that wasn't here. All right, Judge, I'll shut up. I'll let you go back to your page now.
All right. Naturally. Open it over there, till it open over there, and it opens over here. So give me a moment to get my screen set up. And get it sharing.
This one.
That's not the one I want. There we go.
No, I wouldn't even notice it.
Okay. So, actually I need to share this. Gotta figure out how to get to that. Gotta come over to this screen over here. And go back to share again. Okay, county judge, there's no, actually, I gave up the position, the grant manager, so it's, less than, last year by, it doesn't say on here. So.
What are we fixing to do here?
They want to go through each department's, detailed budget,
We gotta start trimming fat.
okay? So I don't know that, there wasn't much increase here.
No, this is each individual department.
All right.
And the red is where you trimmed it?
Not necessarily trimmed it, that I went up, on the miscellaneous expense because that's town hall meetings. They cost roughly $1,500 and, that was, we only did one this year. And, so I upped it to account for two. But everything else is the same.
Do you need that much in travel, Judge? I mean, you used $250 this year. I mean, I don't know what your schedule is, but could you go down to 750?
All right, I'll go down
I
to
mean, I'm just making, well, we gotta, I mean, I know it's $250, but we gotta start trimming as much as we can everywhere. But you get to road and bridge, we're fixing to be in trouble.
all right, let me get to make my notes as we go through.
Is that fair, Judge?
I don't have no problem with that.
I'm wondering whether this is is a good use of time, considering that you and Ben were gonna sit down and figure out where the numbers actually were. Is this the right time to do this, or should we actually find out where we are with? I mean, I thought you had made that comment before. I don't want to put words into your mouth, but I thought that's what you're saying. You and Ben were gonna have to sit down and figure out where kind of, y'all were gonna work through
Right.
it, and then we'd have a more realistic view.
Well, we still will have to go through this detail.
Well, sure, yeah, absolutely, but I'd prefer that we go through the detail when we have a little more solid numbers on where everything's gonna be. I don't want to sideline this, I just don't want us to do this now
Well,
and come back later and have to do.
That was part of the reason why I had these departments highlighted
Yeah,
to really just go and see, they're the ones with significant increases and to go through and determine what the increases were and what changes could be made.
it almost seems like you take out those revenue items and the expense items. That if you have revenue from last year that's not included in this budget, then you take those expenses out as they haven't been spent yet. We don't know. They may come this year, they may not come this year, and look at the trimmed down version. Ben, does that make sense? And you look at actually, what are we actually going to receive in this year, and what are we actually going to spend based on that revenue? And take out those sideline items or those contingency items. Contingency is not a good word, but those items that don't reflect revenue in the budget this year and may or may not be spent this year.
Well, all that's not going to affect going through these right here, the different departments. That's going to affect the bottom line. That's going to tell us where we're at, but it's not going to.
All right.
Let's get on it, okay?
What's the best way to approach this?
All right, well, let me get back. I'm going to take travel down to 750. Actually, I'll take it down to 500, I guess. Yeah. All right. Next is I don't think I skipped anything. Human resources. Yeah. All right. Human resources. You notice I think I dropped.
That's not good.
There it is. I dropped off supplies by 1,000 because 4,000 didn't justify. And the miscellaneous expenditures, I think that's a specific item, which may be a printer for ID badges. If I guess, I don't know, I don't remember without going back and looking.
I do remember her talking about that. It seems like she's talking about badges.
All right, I'm just gonna keep going until somebody tells me to stop. I don't want.
So you reduced it or you added on that
I reduced office
Miscellaneous.
supplies.
miscellaneous
Miscellaneous got,
increased?
well, it got changed. I don't know what the previous one was, but obviously it was, I did not decrease it, so it probably, or I may have, I don't remember what the previous one was.
I'll probably do it, but I'd like to see that. If there is a.
Didn't she ask for something for her employee too?
Yeah, change from clerk to deputy clerk,
Yeah.
an increase in salary.
You remember how much that was?
We didn't do it.
Has Jessica talked to you?
About what?
That,
No, she hasn't.
I thought she was gonna be up here.
We might need to revisit that.
you know,
Well, then revisit.
I just don't remember I don't remember what she wanted. I can't remember what it was.
She wanted to make her a chief clerk. As opposed to her, administrative assistant, as opposed to administrative assistant.
let's move on from this one.
Let's move on.
Well, it's got to reflect it in the budget somehow, and so I think what he's asking is, and you want, he had carved it out of the budget, correct, Judge? You carved that out of the budget for human resources?
We all did when we went through the listing of the changes in, positions.
We didn't talk about it.
Yeah,
Yeah, it
I
kinda
think we
got
just ran,
passed.
I think we just ran by it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, I think we need to relook at that.
I'll have to go back and watch the video. I don't remember us mentioning anything about.
We can bring it back up later. We can bring it back up later, can't we?
Yeah,
Let's do that.
All right,
this Susan.
The 403.
Can you stick with 4,500 in training? Susan,
The new one.
you hadn't gone over, well, you went over it in 23, but barely.
Is there gonna be training for the new
Yeah.
position?
Stay at 4,500 only because.
Yeah, stay at 4,500, not
Yeah,
5,000.
4,500 because I actually put 1,700 in the line, I'm like 057 something. Which is a fund that Karen and I share. And if I'm reading Nicole's email correctly, I don't know how much money was in there, but she used it for Karen. To go to LGS. And so I'll have to take mine out of here, so I think 4,500 would probably be good for me. But there is on my salary. There's a mistake, because of the two positions that I'm sitting downstairs till election. I still have the assistant deputy. And that position pays more, so there is a difference of like, I think it's. It's shown on here, and he was what I was looking at, this is where I taught it, not much to look at. You right here, because when y'all put it over, nothing was put here on mine, this is here, so.
I don't really
Is that
understand. You're saying
position?
you
Whatever.
eliminated that position, so.
Well,
Or-
we've eliminated. Not really that position, I've moved two positions over, but I still have my chief and my assistant.
And right now, we don't have any salary in there for the chief or the assistant.
You do for the chief, just not the assistant, there's a
So-
salary in there, but the salary is off by like, is it $3,000, $34,000?
yeah, and I made a mistake on the new EA position, and it's 58, not 50. And that has to be corrected too. So I need to leave this assistant deputy position in the clerks. Okay, I'll correct that.
Yeah, I think I can go down a little bit more on postage also. Because the more we're looking at that, the more people are definitely. E-reporting, and it saves us on postage, so if y'all wanna cut that down, maybe even $5,000 and I need to move money back and forth, move that to the year.
Postage to 2,000.
Yeah.
What about office equipment? You got anything planned for that?
I know we're gonna need one desk. Maybe 2 chairs. That's it. So we want to cut back a little bit on that, we can. We don't need to give what we need to, you know. This one.
A desk and $1,500. You get close to
That
that.
back about 1,000.
A desk and 2 chairs you couldn't.
No, I mean, but those are the major, things. But we use a lot of paper and paper keeps going up.
Okay.
So I don't wanna trim too thin here.
I was saying 1,500.
You know, fine.
We're gonna nickel and dime this thing down and
Yeah.
down.
All right, we're there. Anything else? All right, so now the next one. Gonna be elections. Let me get the screen to go. There we go.
And you said the extra help here are your election workers?
Yes.
And the election equipment is that subscription and those iPads?
Right.
Now, is that covered under the HAVA grant? The iPads?
Yeah, I was thinking that we did part of that, and we do part of that in Scott's budget, I don't remember. We kind of went back and forth talking with them, because we're definitely gonna use the HOP grant to pay for the poll pad. The new,
Okay, no, the poll pads would not be through Scott's.
okay,
That's
so we
it.
have to pay for those first and do all that free. And then use chapter 19 when I move for our portion.
Okay, so we go ahead and budget it because that may not occur. Or that we have to pay for it up front, so that's what we're doing.
Yeah.
All right, any changes?
Do we need $25,000 of postage?
They're gonna mail out 42,000 voter registration cards.
Oh my word. Okay.
Have to be mailed out end of the year. And it's what, 50 cents each now?
Or more.
Yeah, more. Okay.
I think
All right.
It's about 10,000 that would do throughout the year. And all of the mail out,
For us, I don't know if they did just.
$8-9.
Everybody bunch up. Okay.
All right. This is non-department, we've got legal, same as last year, we got accounting, same as last year, consulting services. I went down a little bit, that consulting services right there was for, Ken Burns. And this will be, for, one, it'd be about 25,000 to do a new cost estimate to renovate the courthouse. And, I don't know if we'll need any other services regarding buildings.
The consulting services for Tonda and regarding the best comes out of her budget instead of the non-department.
We took it out of the legal for this year. Okay, that's what we did, we agreed to do. So, but that, the consulting services there, again, is a courthouse, and also we want to do an engineering study on the jail, and that would come out of that right there. Okay, autopsies and forensic science, I took it down by $20,000 based on our current usage. And then the others, I don't think that, let's see, insurance all went up $100,000, and that is going to be 50,000 of that is, or 60,000 of that is what probably the new increase is going to be due to for liability, auto, and building coverages. And then there's 40,000 in there for the building on 1930 South Trade Days Boulevard. 40,000 for insurance on it. So that's what the change, and that's why that went up. And then contingency down here, I have, up to 4 million. From, it was basically 1 million when we started, and that's just to put money, that's not that we're necessarily gonna spend it, but that was to account for the, general fund money that if we needed to spend, it would be budgeted. Again, we can change that. I think, and that's one of those ones I want to take out and say, look, this is not a hard cost, or hard expense item. And we can adjust it. So
That's right. Every dollar, I've agreed that every dollar that's in our fund balance should be in contingency if, you know, that way. Otherwise, we'll run into the situation we ran into this year where you can't use it because we don't have it
right,
in the budget. So I think we put
but that,
everything in there.
yeah, and again, that's gonna vary. So depending on when we get closer, we'll be able to figure it out. So any issues with any changes in here? All right, the next one is going to be,
But by the same token, that 4 million in contingency is, you know, it's going to show up as a budgetary expense, but it's not. You know, we actually have that money. And so like you say, Judge, we'll have to look at that.
right,
It's not actually an expense.
yeah, we don't, what I want to do is have a, total expense line and then have contingency come out after that. Not included in that, but included later, which that's the way Sandy did it before. All right, we're now into contracts and we're back to the fire department fee. So are we good at just raising it from
6 to 9.
6 to 9? Okay. So I'm gonna take I need about 45,000 out of that.
Huh?
Charlie's dropping at $45,000
300 times 4 is 1,200
times 12.
times 12.
What are we doing? So it's a month, right? It's a month, so
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
4,800.
a month, right? Or is it 1,200?
I don't remember how many.
How many do we have?
Well, you had it at 1,200. We're reducing it by 300 a month. Times 12, that's 3,600 a month. By how many?
Okay, again, I don't know how many.
Okay.
What I was doing is, the current rate is right at 89,000 a year.
So you took your budgeted line item and you reduced it 25%.
Well, okay. That. For 25, you had 63,000 in there,
Correct.
and 26, you're going to 150.
25, the 63 is the actual, that's not the budget. The budget is 89. If you look
Okay,
in, the prior years, we did 81, 87, and I think it'll probably be 87 again this.
According to the math, 89,000, we have 12.
It'd be 111,250, right? You go to 111,250. If you went up 25%.
Be $43,000
increase
decrease.
from the 178.
From 1,200 to 900 would be a decrease of $43,000.
Y'all getting the judge confused.
Well, I don't know the exact number of volunteer fire departments.
According to the numbers.
All right,
Well. 43,900, 43,000.
Or you're not doubling it, you're just adding 25%.
That's 12.
Is that right?
correct.
You're decreasing by $43,200.
You need about $130,000.
Which is minus 45,000. So.
You're doing the Aggie math.
45,000.
Aggie math,
All right.
don't count.
So, I'll get it there. All right, economic development, Cindy indicated I can take that out of here. Doesn't need to be in this budget, so I'll take that down. And then animal control, I talked about this prior and just to get approval that, because it's been a very successful program. It's running at around $1,500 a month, the amount of spay and neutering, at 50% cost, and so I raised it by to $1,500 a month. This is currently, we're spending 1,000 a month. So that'd be 18,000. Is there any objection to doing that? Okay. I did up the subdivision engineer, his budget at 3,000 and I did it to 15,000 because most likely we will have to do hire somebody to help us rewrite our,
Subdivision.
update our subdivision guidelines. It probably won't be 12,000. But there may be other needs that we have, so that's why I upped it up by 12. And what, you want me to just take it to 10? Okay, I'll just take it to 10.
I think they were, you'd be safe there.
All right, the next one is Andrews Center. We left it the same. We left pretty much everything else the same. Updated the Child Advocacy Center allocation because that is actually paid for by money that we receive through the Department of Motor Vehicle or the TAC office. It's a $1.50 fee that I believe that is charged tacked on to the motor vehicle registration. And it was up significantly from this year as far as what we paid out. And so what I've seen, so I went ahead and upped it by $6,000.
What about historical commission?
Historic Commission, this is money that we budgeted last year and they didn't spend it, and we budgeted it this year. And I don't know if they're gonna spend it.
Well, I'd say give them some money. Can we go down to say 1,000? They haven't spent any in the past
All right,
3 years.
we'll do that. Child safety allocation, I think that may be the same thing that I was talking about earlier. It's one of those fees that we collect and we can just pass it on. All right. Next one is emergency management. Wow. And I don't know what happened here, but that wasn't, I know we had, and I need to get with, Vicky on it, but it went up because, we increased her hours to handle the FEMA stuff in, last year, and, but I don't know why it's there now, so I'm gonna have to research that. We did talk about increasing our hours, but everything else is pretty much the same.
They getting a vehicle?
Well, actually, we want to take that. We're gonna figure out a vehicle that some we can use from another entity within the county.
Okay.
In other words, rather than spend money on it, we're gonna recycle one of our Tahoes.
Okay.
In that regard, again, her Tahoe right now is 2007. So go ahead and mark that out. I'll check on this. I think that should just be a 3% increase. All right, next one is the veterans and pretty much the same thing that I don't know why. I'm gonna have to go check that number too. Don't know why that changed to 33, but that may be what it currently is. But all the other categories stay the same.
I mean, training, we got $1,000 and we spent $500 in 23. You need that.
Well, the
Then
issue
we
is a new guy
Oh, that's
and
right.
he's not certified.
That's right.
That's to help him get certification for
Yeah, I forgot about that.
time. So, all right. Next one is court. This is a minuscule one. It's related to indigent legal aid and court translators and hospital commitment. So these are just kind of put in there to pay for it if we need it. The translators were required by law, you know, if they don't speak English, to provide them a translator. So it's in there. Not many people use it. And hospital commitment is another one. I don't know exactly how that's spent, but it's there. All right, next. Go too fast. Indigent legal aid in juvenile court, and man, have we been getting the juveniles lately? So I actually had to do a budget transfer to on this one and move $5,000 into it just in the last month to cover all of the lawyers that we're having to pay for handling juvenile. So I upped it to 18,000 this year, and that's, you know, pretty realistic. District court. So I don't know if there's anything in here. I think I did reduce their office supplies by 1,000 because it didn't justify 4,000. And I did reduce the court translators to 1,000 because we had from 3,500. Or wait, no, I think I went down by 1,000.
So this is one you don't know. You may be too much, too little, but like take psych evaluations. We got 14.5. The most we spent in the past 3 years is 7. Can we take that down to 10? We may need 14. Who know? You don't know.
But you could trim it some though.
Yeah.
All right. Psych evaluations 2.
I'd say 10, and then you go down
All right.
into the next one, transcript and defense expense.
83.
20,000 and 8,300 is the most we've ever spent in the past 3 years. Can we take that down to, 12?
And again, this was probably through June, so there's 3 months, and it's specific to certain cases. Whenever there's appeals, that's when you got all of that.
You don't know if you're gonna use it or not. It's difficult.
All right. So you want to take it down to what?
How about 15?
15. Okay.
And it goes back to that contingency. If we need it, the money is there to supplement it, but we don't have to budget it.
Right. Okay. And then I did take training down to 2 from 5 because
2,300 or 2,200, 23 was in 2024, but the rest of it didn't.
all right. Anything else?
You take that indigent legal aid down to 300. We hadn't used 300 yet.
Well, this is in a transition phase right here, and actually what happens is, 70. I guess we could. The thing about it is a lot of these things don't get invoiced until the end of the year. You get a big rush, but I don't know. We significantly increased it last year.
237, 272. You could probably go down to 3 on that and see.
All right. Down 3. Okay, any more?
No.
County court at law. This one, I don't want to change that, indigent legal. I don't want to lower it any more than that.
Go back to psych evaluations. We got 5,000 budgeted. We used 3,100 in 23, 650, 24, nothing this year. Can we keep that at 4?
Yeah. Okay,
Yeah, why did we up this to 105, that supplement?
that's the state supplement. That was, state provided the increase to judges. And it increased to 105.
The jury expense. I know there's been a lot of juries over there. We spent 8,000 this year. Can we lower that down to 11?
Well, the thing is, they increased juror pay last year. And from $4 to 16, I think
Okay.
it was. Now we get that back,
Yeah,
but,
we still gotta pay for it first.
right,
Okay.
I think that's good.
I'm just trying to trim it.
Mhm.
All right, we good with this one? District clerk. Pretty much, I did lower the office supplies from 12,000 to 8,000.
We need to add. Well, I think we do. We agreed to do the passport pictures. I've talked to them and when we talked about the numbers on it. It's a revenue.
I don't know, but we talked about it in here.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
did.
we did.
Yeah.
I thought we kind of all agreed that we needed to do it.
Okay, do
Talking about
we have the cost of the printer, cost of the supplies? Has anybody gotten that?
Karen, the number $1,500 comes up to me. She talked to Kaufman County about it. Do you know it? You remember Susan? Talk to her about it.
I think that number's about right, but.
And that's for a camera, a printer. You gotta have a specific backdrop. That's basically it. But we could, when she had the numbers where she did like 600 at $20 a pop.
Okay, so a camera and a digital printer are $1,500.
I want to say that was the total cost for this.
She said it was
Back, right.
You know, I say go get her.
Oh, she's here now. She's here.
I think so, but she's sitting in the jury. You want me to run it there real quick?
Or we just pass it. I mean, we can, it's not, anything's not final. We can come back to it. But I think we need to look into that. That's my opinion. I don't know what y'all feel. But that's revenue.
And it's not only revenue, it's a service.
It's a lot easier. You're right.
And Austin County's not doing it on Fridays and Monday. That's the big gap.
And they have to come up here to get it and then either go to CVS or whatever and then come back here.
Our things that people with international travel, and we need to.
They are. I mean, there's a ton of passports getting put
All
out.
right, I'll put those numbers in once we get them, okay?
Okay.
No cruise.
I've gone to Oklahoma.
Okay, I did lower. I think the training on 2,500 to 2,000. And I lowered the postage from 1,400 to 1,000.
I appreciate that work there, Judge, where you take those and where they just have not used it.
Well, it could probably go even lower. If you look at it, they're not even, well, they did spend on one, well, there's 800 and 1,300, I don't know why. They probably just haven't submitted the expenses yet for this year, so I wouldn't want to go below 1,000.
Right.
Okay. Don't know what specifically the contract service was. You got a refund on it.
Yeah, I agree there too as well. I mean, at $1,100, that's a modest increase from the 900 from 24, and it would be helpful if she could shed light on why there's a budget increase or a refund this year.
All right, I'll go look at the details on that contract.
That training, we could probably bring it on down to 1,500. Because most she's supposed to pay 14.
I wonder if her training and travel, et cetera, increases if she has new employees. Well,
JP1 is where
This
we're
is
at.
Wade.
That's-
Oh,
Yeah.
oh,
We don't have a CJP, do we?
Mm,
no, I, for some reason, I didn't catch that we'd gone over from district clerk.
Yeah.
Right,
I think we could drop that training on down to 1,500. I mean, that's just 500 more.
All right, yeah.
Do you know what he's gonna be training up this year?
I don't have very much interaction. with
Well,
them.
as elected officials, they're required to get certain number of hours of training, certification, travel, and that is merely a function of them turning in mileage, is what that is.
Travel is associated with their work, not as associated with Allen County.
Right.
Okay.
Well, it could be, but, you know,
It goes on the same line.
they do not get a county vehicle, so I just soon leave it up there.
All of them are. So,
Yeah, yeah, that makes good sense.
All right, anything else?
There.
Kitchen sink.
JP's ain't got much to cut.
I'm not gonna talk about JPs.
All right.
Because I might end up in one of their courts, one reason or another.
So, going on to JP2, I lowered the, training, by 1,000 to 2,000. And I lowered postage to 1,000 from 1,300. Although, they just haven't spent any this year, or they haven't turned it in.
Talking about that miscellaneous, JP1 had 100. You know, I think that needs some miscellaneous, but how about take that some off that miscellaneous?
On JP1,
JP1 had $100 miscellaneous, JP2 has $600 miscellaneous.
sometimes, you know, it's,
Yeah, I understand. I think we need miscellaneous, but we were talking about it before, you know, what is miscellaneous?
that's right.
When you start,
It's true. It should be targeted to a line item. So I'm working on your behalf, then
It's very miscellaneous.
how about put $400 miscellaneous?
zero miscellaneous.
400, all right.
Over here.
Did that kid yours?
It's so bad.
Sometimes.
Yeah.
Well, he don't show
That's the one
nothing
that
for
you
the,
don't know if you're gonna spend your
I'll
nose.
say he's got that 500 and he's never spending them.
Yeah, juror expense
Mhm.
should be cut back.
Well, everybody's jury's expenses is 500.
Is it?
Yes,
Okay.
so I don't know that,
Need to change it.
you need to change it.
You never know
Even though
when
they're-
somebody's gonna ask for a jury.
There's never been like this zeroed out ever all the way across.
And it only, and when a litigant asks for a jury, the jury fee is statutorily limited to $40. That's what they pay. Unless it's.
Okay, JP4 does have jury expenses, but you wanna,
This is two, right?
Yeah.
right, I'm just looking, that's the only,
didn't want to have
that's the
something.
only one that hasn't ever had jury expense.
Oh, okay. He's the only one that's ever used.
Well, on a regular basis.
Well, you know what you could do is take out the jury expense, make it miscellaneous. And if you need it, you can put it in jury expense, miscellaneous.
So you're talking about Bill Webb to $500?
Do what it's $600.
I mean, it's kind of an exercise of utility to move it. If it's there, it's there. I'd rather something not be a miscellaneous, honestly.
Yeah, me too.
It needs to be correctly reflected in what it's.
How about we lower everybody's 400 jury expense to 400? It's not gonna spend, so it'd be 400.
I think you're right, Jay. If the jury expense all be the same, and then miscellaneous should all be the same.
Okay, well, so you want it to be 100, which is what they requested here? or-
I would put, I mean, I don't know, 200-300. I mean, I think that would cover something. I mean,
Well, they've got
Two,
300.
300 is more than their PO.
They spent 325.
How about put $400 in miscellaneous?
No, I think 400, your expense 400 and miscellaneous at 200.
There you go. All right.
If they follow jury, they usually ask us to send out like probably 80 to 100. But probably the 80s. Send it out. And JP2 recently had to send in, but usually they used to. JP4, JP3.
All right, JP free. Change, postage down to 800 from 1100, or I think, I don't know what it was. I lowered it down and, training down, and then we're gonna change the zero expense to 400. And the miscellaneous to 300 on JP3. Anything else? Okay, JP4. He's the one that had juror expense this year, 360. So I'll just go over that to 4 and 2, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. Next one, district attorney. Lowered, fuel and lubricants. I lowered it from 8,000 to 6,000 based on history and on the fact that we should be getting a 20 cent a gallon refund. The transcripts and prosecution, there was something that I found out that it was being charged there that actually could go to another account. So I told Tom about it and asked her if I could reduce it. We did by $2,800. So. So, any questions, anything? That capital outlay annex down there is painting her office, 7,500. All right, I'm moving on.
Yep.
County auditor.
Nothing.
Scratch it all.
Do we even need one?
Probably do.
Yes, we do.
Okay. All right, then.
Yes,
we do.
So I assumed it went up because we got a new person in there, and they need new supplies, postage. Training needs to be the same because he's gonna need to get some heavy duty training. I don't, any other issues? Not, move on to treasurer.
You don't have a new desk or nothing?
Not yet.
Judge Karen said that equipment was around $1,800.
Okay. So,
Training goes up, the travel should go up too, shouldn't it?
no,
Not necessarily.
the training, the travel to training is included in training.
Okay.
Travel has to do with like they're going around, within the
Counting my stuff. over.
right,
Looking-
mileage, for
looking at
the treasurer, that'd be mileage for going around,
Inventory.
right,
Looking at roads.
looking at road, right.
Go to Bobby's first.
Do what?
Okay. Okay.
So postage looks probably reasonable with the price increase. Office supplies has to do with checks and forms and stuff.
Well, on the postage, this year they spent 2,100, last year. Was that 39? Yeah, and 32. Okay.
All right, I changed. All right, next one is. Tax collector. I went ahead and reduced postage by 1,000. Cause it wasn't, 7,000 wasn't justified, and she's got a machine over there, as soon as we get. Money in the account that will actually help her save money. Which that check went out last week, I think, so we'll be able to get that set up.
Can you take some money out of office supplies? I mean, I don't know where her plan is, but she spent 2,800 is the most she spent. $500 off of it,
Take it to what?
43.
43, okay?
I'm just,
I still think that's a little generous, but
Yeah, that's
works for me.
if I remember her talking, she was gonna buy
She
something.
said something about something, that's what I was
Yeah.
thinking too.
Who is this?
Misty Stanberry.
Oh, okay. Let her keep all of her money. She's always nice to me.
That's it.
All right, 43.
43.
It's nice to, I've been nice to everybody, so I'm gonna leave.
And you go, hey, go back down. We're gonna be consistent on this miscellaneous. She's got $3,200 miscellaneous.
Yeah,
It's been 447.
yeah, you're right, Sheriff. You can, I'm increasing.
1,000, no,
Just on niceness alone.
440 at one time.
drop that down to 750.
That's 35 on the miscellaneous.
Miscellaneous, well, I have a feeling it's purchase of something, but I'm gonna go ahead and drop it to 500 and find
See,
out.
I remember her saying something, but I can't remember what it
Yeah.
was.
Yeah, but she.
That should be in a line item, not miscellaneous
Yeah.
stuff.
Well,
Well, maybe in that other one we just dropped.
you know, they may be moving.
That's what I was thinking.
Now,
Office supply.
well, if they do, once again, we got that money contingency if we need it.
Well, we've got another year though, to August.
It's less than a year now.
Well, this is August.
Well, it'll be July next year.
Mhm.
But
Yeah.
we're putting that money in that contingency. We're trying to make a real budget, is what we're trying to do.
All right, 500. Move 500. All right, next. Data processing and,
We really just don't know about data processing, do we? Because it's new.
no, it's not new.
He jumps around.
And there's more coming
You wait,
because there's
are you waiting?
there's several contracts that have come in since we did the budget and there's the new positions. He has to budget all the new positions, equipment that he has to purchase for in that regard. So I don't know what to.
I don't think we should mess with this.
Okay.
At this point.
I think I lowered the travel and the training.
Yeah.
Did reflect more on what history shows.
Does he have a new guy coming in too?
No.
Okay.
Can you jump over to the sheriff's?
What department is that?
Data process,
Data process.
IT,
Oh, IT.
yeah,
Can you jump over to sheriff's, Joe, so Kevin can get out of here? He's waiting on his.
okay.
We stopped at data process.
Just gonna buy us lunch or something.
I have another meeting. I apologize.
I believe-
I can come back tomorrow. It doesn't.
No, let's just get it over with.
We just. Sure he's gonna buy us lunch.
That was a budget line item for sheriff forfeiture. I didn't know who's gonna forfeit stuff to us, but I'm in favor of it.
Yeah.
Well, that's another one that we're not budgeting forfeitures because when you get a forfeiture, it comes in as a revenue and as an expense line item at the same time, so.
Oh, I thought he was forfeiting stuff to us. My misconception.
I remember if we had it, you can have it.
Okay, thank you. So the library.
I wish I had.
You won't ever find that data again.
Oh, we will.
I should have remembered what page it was.
78,
There's the jail.
78.
There's the jail. There's the sheriff.
There you go.
There's a lot of cutting right here. You get down.
Calm down, calm down.
All right, so I cut their fuel and lubricants down by $30,000.
So I had a question about that. Did you look into the fuel for everybody?
Yeah, I checked, I didn't look into it, I just kind of figured what the cost of it was right now at that time
Okay.
and subtracted that 20 cents and roughly how much we had used. And I'm sorry, but I can't, it
No,
seems
that's
like it was
good.
$11,000
I mean,
less.
if it, like we talked about, I'm all for it if we can save money.
You know,
Yeah,
just on mine, it seems like it was like 11,000 less.
You counted up all the gallons?
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, what they do, they have credit cards, and as long as the mileage is indicated on there, then we can go in and request refunds from the state on the tax that has been paid. And so we already have, the reporting is done because we got the credit card statement. And as long as we have that, then we can get the request.
Can we cut some office supplies, Kevin?
Say again, sir?
Can we cut some office supplies? The most you spent is 5,600 or 23. You're at 10, you go down to 7,500, 6,000. Now, I don't know what your plan is, but
I got 3 guys. Yeah, I'll do my part. I could.
you got any plans to buy anything? Is that
That
under office
include-
supplies, would that be?
But, you know, just like Sue said, that includes paper and all kinds of stuff too, so.
Right.
Well, that's all over the board, 13,2, 31, 3105.
7,500 fair?
Change glasses, change glasses.
What was the consensus? What was the amount?
Did you say okay on the 75?
He's looking, 7,500 on office supplies.
Yeah, we can try that.
It's around 5,000 for the last 2 years.
Yeah, we can try that. Let's try that.
Yeah.
If I need paper, I'll come here and get it.
What about law enforcement supplies? You got,
Come on, man. I'm in.
you got 90,000 and we spent 40, 32 and
So-
17.
Well, so here's the thing. And y'all know this is my first time doing this, so, you know. I just spent a order, all the deputies new vests and all that stuff, and there's some other things that, and I'm not here to talk about nobody, but there's some things that the sheriff's office employees were not afforded the opportunity to get for those things. So, you know, I'd like to keep that if I could.
Yeah, well, wouldn't that include new vest, you said?
That goes along, well, I had to do some movement for the law enforcement supplies and uniforms to make those match. To get those things done. And Cliff, I did use a bunch of my asset forfeiture money too. To get that happen, to make that happen as well.
Is anybody right now over their 5 years on this?
Yes, sir. Yep.
So those.
We should have them in. I think they said mid to late August, we should be receiving all of them. And I can tell you that was very, very hefty bill.
Yeah, absolutely.
Can we go down to 115 on automotive maintenance?
Well, you're gonna have more vehicles and you're gonna have more road miles with the, you know, one thing that we've got this year is if you've got a full crew out there, that means every vehicle's
Yeah.
gonna be in operation.
So, yeah, and again, I'm not using it as excuses, but this is just the facts, you know. Again, my first year, we hired 19 new employees and we're only 1 deputy short. And we got 2 in training right now. So exactly what she just said, that they're gonna, I mean,
Yeah, I wouldn't go
There's gonna be a
down.
lot more miles, a lot more gas,
A lot more road.
I'm just,
everything.
I'm just asking, so we're.
No, no, I know.
The only one-
Well, and no, I don't take offense to it. I want to make sure I explain to you, or
Yeah.
the board here, the commissioner's board, that
Yeah, the only
this is
one
my
that I
first
would-
time, but but with that being said, it's hard to go by those 24, 23 numbers
Yeah, that's right.
because
you're full up.
the level of
Service
service we
is
have
higher.
now and everything else.
The only one that I would say anything about is 10,000 on miscellaneous. Miscellaneous has been that place where in theory, people have had to tuck a little bit of money because they didn't want to come back to ask for more money.
Mhm.
So you put it in miscellaneous so that you can say, I'm just moving it from one line item to the other. I'm making a commitment to you that I'm gonna support. If these departments need stuff, we're cutting back, we're trimming back. If miscellaneous has not been used, that would be the area that I would say, let's carve that back a little bit. And then if you need to come back to us and talk about something specific, then I'm gonna be open to giving you some additional funds. If we don't have something specific in mind for miscellaneous spend, then I would be in favor of trimming that and that.
Yes, sir.
What say you?
So it looks like today we've spent 5385. So, I agree with you. I agree with what you're saying. I also agree that, it's just to stop those line item transfers too. So, we can put that back a little bit.
Which line were we talking about?
The one thing I remember back last year's budget, Kevin talking with the commissioners and all, and I've been looking over that he wouldn't ask for anything else. And I feel like he hasn't really asked for anything else. And I know we're here to cut things, but at the same time, I feel like he needs pretty much what he's got.
Oh, yeah, well, I'm not.
You know what
we're
I'm
just talking
saying?
about- We're just talking about
Because
miscellaneous.
he's squeezing the heck out of his budget.
So, and I appreciate that, thank you. But like Susan said too, here, I want to do my part as well.
Right.
And add to the 10%.
We'll move back to the board, and if we have something that we either overlook, something that importance is. Oh, yeah, you definitely need that.
Absolutely.
Everything to be fine.
Well, I agree. I think we've all, as the court,
Yeah.
made a commitment the other day that if it was justified, we were okay.
Yeah.
So, Cliff, back, I may just say Cliff, back to your question, or, I'm not opposed to give me a buffer, so, keep me at 8 if you don't mind. Or if the court don't mind.
That's fair.
Um,
That I note that 2 years ago, you were 13,000, 13,000 spend on miscellaneous line item. And so if whatever those spends were could be put into the appropriate line above and reduce the miscellaneous to that. So I'm good to do 8,000 if everybody else is.
And so again, you look at the 13,000 number. I don't want to beat this up, but this is my first time. I don't know what the
Absolutely.
intentions were. I don't know what they did or didn't do. So, I'm all for, like my wife tells me, hey, this is how much money we have left to do this and this and this.
Yeah.
And there's no miscellaneous in my budget.
No.
There's fund money, but I spend that pretty quickly. But nonetheless, so I'm okay with that. Absolutely. And I want to make sure that we get the 10% increase like we talked about.
Sheriff, I don't see it on there, but shouldn't there be a coffee and donut line item somewhere on there? I think that.
That's miscellaneous.
That's the miscellaneous.
That's miscellaneous. So you just cut some of the coffee and donuts out.
That's absolutely the miscellaneous.
Our auditor department will make sure that doesn't happen.
And they do. And that's a good question, and maybe this isn't the correct form for this, I don't know, but so often our deputies are out there and we provide a lot of cases of water inside the office and stuff too. And I've been told, and I haven't pushed it because I don't know. That's my again, that I can't, buy cases of water to put in there for the deputies in their cars.
That is something that we need to discuss as a commissioner court, make the determination because it.
Like I didn't know if it was the right form, but I just want to
Right.
just bring that to the forefront.
Well, I think that it is the right form and we buy, we need to buy, water for our road departments, in my opinion. And,
No.
it applies to, to your guys out there in the field just the same way. If they're sitting in an accident, there's no way that they can, go to a water.
I mean, that's just my thoughts, so but if that's something maybe I can bring to the commissioner work, we all could, anyway.
We need,
Back to my place, I'm sorry, sidebar there.
we just need to set a workshop to discuss it. Okay.
Perfect.
As a commissioner court, we can decide if purchasing of water serves a public purpose. That's all we have to do. And then that will give the auditor department the authority to go ahead and approve water purchases.
I thought it was already approved. It's not?
I don't know. So,
The commissioner court just needs to make that decision. That's all. Once we make that decision.
is anybody on the fire department?
Anybody what?
Fire department?
Not anymore.
What's it called when you put the water and the rehydration snacks or something like that on the fire truck? What's it called?
Well, we keep what, we did
Yeah.
when I was on fire. We kept water, but in that situation, and which I do know for the road and bridge at some time, Ozarka was furnishing. They would donate every so often a pallet of water, and they would donate to the fire departments. And so we kept water that way.
A video record, emergency management. John Parker, sometimes she back this.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because they used to give some to.
I think they used to get 3 or 4 pallets at a time and they'd split it up or something.
But other than that, that's I mean, I'm good with what we got.
No, I'm not from Walmart.
All right, are we done with the sheriff? You want to do the jail?
Sure. So, we can just jump down miscellaneous if you like.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah,
my gosh.
yeah,
And
that's a good choice.
if you wanna, I'll do the same 2,000.
You'll cut it to 3, is that what you're saying, or
No,
drop it to 3?
no,
Drop
I'm saying,
ask.
That's the 5.
yes, sir. That'd be fine, and it looks like I'm right at 5 now, and you got me curious, and I do wanna see, I wanna look into those, see what those miscellaneous charges are. Just for my knowledge.
Well, Kaufman County eliminated miscellaneous accounts from all departments like this year, in this year's budget, because that's the purpose was to put it in an account.
Sure.
But,
So you're saying,
and we still need to get, I need to get with you on the medical contract for next year, because it is going up, that those numbers are not reflected in this. And I need to make sure, verify that the
Yes,
mental health.
So just last week, I sent it out. I told you I was getting it on, I guess it's Friday.
Okay,
Yes, sir.
all right, so that,
so we're cutting
In that-
miscellaneous back to 5,000?
that is correct.
So that inmate medical expense there will show 300,000, that could change.
Yes,
Yes, sir. Yeah.
they're going with a more, right now it's 5x8, right?
Yes, sir.
And you're going to what, a 7x10?
10.
7x10. In other words, 7 days a week, 10 hours a day service. And that's about $40,000 more. So, but before we add that in, we just, the contract that they sent out did not include the mental health position. And I just want to make sure that that's part of in that regard. Are you sure you're gonna get by inmate food?
Right now we are.
Yeah.
Right now, we're.
Okay.
The office of that. Now, I can't control the price of inflation, food inflation throughout the year, but as of right now, yes, sir, we're.
And the contract services, that part of that, not all of it, part of it is housing prisoners in another jails in other
Yeah,
counties.
And I'll tell you that I looked, I did get the numbers, up to year to date, from January till now. I know that company I went to, public company, I got the numbers, and we're at, a little over 13,000, that's it, for, outsourcing. So.
13,000 for the year?
Yes, sir.
No, that's not right.
That's not including medical. That's what I was
No,
given.
That's just housing.
That's what I was given by.
13,000 is not right. I think I've seen 7,000 bill this week, but I could be wrong because I forget. You know, it was right. We stopped sending them out. I could be wrong, but
Inmate housing, right here. I'll get some service. 2025. $14,530. As of,
but it hasn't been until the last month or two that you've actually started housing inmates
Yeah.
down there.
that's up to July of 2025. Doesn't count August.
And you had one cell down, you still got one cell down?
No, sir, we fixed it. We fixed it. So, and then, but just to let you know, last year was 120,000, 120.
Sheriff, what about your office supplies? You've got 8,000 out there and looks like about 45.
So just like, a lot of others, we wait till the last minute to make sure we do bare minimum. And then we try to stock up, and that holds us to the end. And again, too, with the jail, the office supplies, that's paper and everything too, so, you know, the more people we have to book in, book out, more paper, more this, just different. I use paper just because you said paper. There's other supplies that are encourage that.
Yeah.
That's it. All right. Thank you for letting me, do that. I appreciate that. Thank you.
You bet.
Appreciate you.
I'll give a break.
All right.
This is all easy, I'd step. I like our sheriff.
So we were on constables.
Data processing.
You just finished data process.
We had our meeting. There's data processing.
All right. Did we finish that one?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so next one is public buildings. And I put in there, I calculated the amounts that would be required for the building at 1930 Trace Days Boulevard, basically being left empty or minimal service is what it amounts to. And I put those in there, added those in there, came up to about $40,000. So you're looking at roughly 40,000. And I don't know, it could be way off, but I wasn't going to go low. in that regard, but you are gonna have, some water costs and some, or some electrical costs, gas, for the winter. And, adding those to it, and some landscape maintenance was the other thing, to do minimal type of landscaping.
When you talking about the new building?
Yes.
So are they gonna be in it through the winter? People that are there now, are they gonna be in that?
Yes, they are.
They'll be responsible for that, won't they?
That's correct. They will until they vacate in March.
March.
So I could adjust these down.
No, I'm not, that's not what I was just trying to verify where everything is, I couldn't remember.
Let's just jump down miscellaneous again, Judge. Will you take that down? I mean,
Yes, we can. Back up.
This is buildings, all the buildings we have,
Take it back to about 1,500.
is that correct?
Yes,
Maintenance on all the buildings?
all the buildings except for the jail, sheriff's office and the jail.
Drop it back to about 1,500.
Okay.
I'm just trying to get a sync at the JP one.
You what? Oh,
you got machinery and equipment. What's the plan on that?
That would be, we use that, to, buy, let's see, that would be like the boiler in here, the water heater, that we replaced up here, and, a few other things. I don't think it's AC. I think the AC stuff goes to the, building improvement. But
It looks
machinery,
like-
equipment and stuff inside the building.
looks like the most we've spent in the last 2 or 3 years is 27.
Yeah, that goes kind of hand in
I-
hand. That's
I-
why the
I
building
know.
is like it
I
is.
know.
So he's spending money
I
on
know.
it. You see where else you can cut there, Judge?
Well, we want to keep the 500 because that's going to be for the windows and some other stuff. And I'd rather keep the machinery equipment for the other stuff that, we don't, these. No, I can't remember where we put the air conditioning stuff.
Well, say like electricity. I know electricity's gone up, but 111, 105. We gotta be more, it's 52,000 in June. That's over halfway. Can you cut that back to 120, 125
Which one are you talking about?
electricity?
Okay.
Yeah,
I believe you could go back
See,
to 120.
because, but there's some, like the library is incredible, how much electricity is used out there. I just think it's just an inefficiency in the units that are out there, but, because they're over 1,000 a month, but a lot of it relates to the
The
summer.
library's over $1,000 a month electric bill.
Mm-hmm.
Something's wrong there.
All right, I'll cut it back to 120,000.
How old are those AC units?
I don't know, that, all of that is, maintained by the city of Canton.
Yeah, that electric bill should not be over $1,000 a month. No way.
How much time have you spent in the library?
Not long, but I've been in there. I mean,
I'm just telling you, I don't know I've been in parts of it, but not much.
I've been to I know my house, and I know that library, and I know where my electric bill runs. It's not even $1,000.
I don't know how big the library is. How big is it? It's big, isn't it? Pretty big.
It's a decent size.
It's about 4,000 square feet.
Yeah,
That's
it
it.
should not be that much.
I can tell you, she's very mindful about her thermostat also, because when we do elections there and stuff, make sure that we light it up in the evening, we leave and stuff like that.
We may maybe look at what kind of units they got. It
Yeah.
costs to put the units in, but it'll pay for it in the long run if they're old units. Not very efficient.
All right.
Is that a flat roof? Is that a flat roof building too? Is that a flat roof also? That building?
No,
What does other
Just looking at
repairs
direction.
fall under? I mean, what is that?
Those are.
Is that kind of like
doors
miscellaneous?
replaced, we've had doors repaired, you know, the closed door closers, on various doors around out.
I think,
And that's,
just looking at what's been spent, I think we could leave that at maybe 23, 4, 5, maybe, from 30.
okay. See, that line item, everything was in when I started here.
Right.
And I broke it out with plumbing, heating, electrical,
Yeah.
and several others, and so it's kind of.
So how do you decide what you do on what buildings? Just if you don't mind me asking.
We base it on how much we spent on that facility. And we try to spread it out every year by how much we invest in each one.
Okay.
So, and we do floors, we do lighting. There's a lot of places where we've gone in and replaced the lights with LED lights to help save on electricity. And we've gone in and done painted the outside. We're looking at Will's Point, we're looking at repairing getting the sprinkler system repaired over there. And we got roofs, we've got new roofs on most of the facility. We put a new roof in Will Point this year, and put a new roof on in precinct 4 last year. And we're looking at putting new floors in precinct 1 last year. And what else do we do? We've done new air conditioning units in 1, 4, 1 and 4 and 2. No, 1 and 2 is the AgriLife building. We put a new air conditioning unit.
I'm getting off subject here a little bit, but something about that precinct 4 building. Does the state pay us anything for that building? Because that is the game warden's office, which is a state agency.
Yeah.
They don't give us a penny for their office.
We bounced the game warrants from sheriff's office over to, I think they were at JP2, got some of the morning. I think they were downstairs. I think they had the election for that one.
It seems like, you know, they're a state agency, and we're paying for office, they could give us a little bit of supplement or something. I'm not saying a lot, but
I wouldn't mess with the game wardens, to tell you.
I like my game
I
warden,
had a bad,
but you
had a
know,
bad experience with them one time.
we're giving them free office space and they got billions in the bank over there.
All right, so Judge, so like. This I'm just being a little horsefly here, like, just swing at me a little bit, but. Like, how do I tell my JP, if he needs something, how long will it be, like, if he really needs something? Could it be a year out or something?
It could be. You know, and again, what we're doing right now is like, and if y'all notice, we've got the courthouse painted. We got the first floor painted, we got the entryway in from Tyler Street painted, and we got the county clerk's office painted. And we have paint left over, but we're going to, and we've gotten a quote to paint the bathrooms. But we're waiting to see where we're at budget wise in September 1st. And then once it's September 1st, we'll look and see if we can do that, and we'll get the rest.
It's a lot of places to spend.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't think people know how much stuff that you actually do spend, all the things that you have to do with.
But it's we'll get there.
Okay.
And you know, when I became maintenance supervisor in 22, I got Judge McMillan's list, things to do, and we're down to 2 things. Okay, so we did.
I'm just doing my part.
Okay, I appreciate that. Anything else on public buildings? We're gonna lower miscellaneous 1,500. We're gonna lower repair and maintenance other to 20. And we're gonna look at the electricity. If we could adjust it down. I believe. Yes. I'll look at, I think we said we're gonna do that. We'll go ahead and do it to 120. Is what we're gonna do there. Okay, what else?
Is that the water at 22.4 where they spent 9 to the, it's over $1,000 a month. The water
Yeah.
bill.
And that does not include sprinklering, which occurs.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, because we don't turn them on. It's hard to believe we've had rain twice now
Shh, shh.
in August.
Shh.
So keep on coming.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, that kind of. Mhm. All right, I'm gonna move on to the next one. Wait, it's after 12, guys.
Yeah, I thought you was gonna order pizza, but it's not in your miscellaneous expense.
I'm sorry.
You said I had a budget.
So we will start in tomorrow at communications.
Very good, sir.
All right. Is there anything else I need to have ready for you tomorrow? Any questions I need to have answered?
All is well.
All right. That concludes our meeting for today at 12:15. Man, time flies when you're having fun, doesn't it?
Oh, yes.
Brandon thought it was just 2 this evening.
Was,
That was the call.
Brandon, I need to see that,
What?
that 400,
Oh, you put it on?
where you said I'm 400,000 over.
600. I'm 400.
And I'm only 100,
What
right?
I asked for, I'm 400,000 over what I've got. With the fund balance.
I asked for 400,000 over, you asked for 600,000, Bobby asked for 800,000.
No, I didn't.
I didn't ask, I didn't raise my six. I didn't raise my 600.
I asked for 6.
I'll explain to you real quick.
You hear me? I only asked for 6. But a new employee too, so.
Yeah, that includes everything.
Yep,
That's all.
leave. So that we can turn the recording off.
Turn it off.
Don't forget your computer.
Oh, yeah, give me that.